Federal enforcement crackdown in Minneapolis. What happened? In January 2026, Minneapolis became a focal point for intense national controversy after multiple shootings involving federal immigration enforcement agents. These incidents occurred amid a broader federal immigration operation known as Operation Metro Surge. 1. Shooting of Renee Good. January 7, 2026. One of the earliest and most widely reported cases in this series was the fatal shooting of Renee Good, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen, by an ICE officer during a federal immigration operation in Minneapolis. According to official and media reports, the incident occurred when federal agents, part of an immigration enforcement detail, approached Good's vehicle parked on a city street. Federal officials said they believed Good's vehicle was used to try to run down an agent, which they said justified their use of force. Local officials and bystander video contradict parts of that narrative, with some witnesses saying Good was trying to turn her car around and was shot at close range. Good was struck multiple times and died of her injuries, which the Hennepin County Medical Examiner ruled a homicide from multiple gunshot wounds by law enforcement. The shooting drew widespread criticism from Minneapolis city leaders, who argued the federal response was excessive and that state investigators were restricted from accessing key evidence. 2. Shooting of Alex Preddy. January 24, 2026. Just over 2 weeks later, another federal agent shooting occurred in Minneapolis. On January 24th, Alex Jeffrey Preddy, a 37-year-old resident and intensive care nurse, was fatally shot by Border Patrol agents during a federal immigration operation. Key details reported include: Preddy was at the scene recording the operation on video and reportedly trying to assist others during a confrontation. Video and analysis by several news outlets show Preddy being pepper-sprayed, wrestled to the ground, and then shot multiple times by agents over a period of seconds. Federal authorities said Preddy approached agents while armed and that shots were fired in self-defense, though the sequence and interpretation of events have been disputed. Preddy was a legal firearm owner with no serious criminal history and was remembered by colleagues as compassionate and community-oriented. Related enforcement and tensions. Between these two fatal shootings, there was at least one non-fatal federal shooting where immigration agents shot a Venezuelan man in the leg during a separate operation on January 14. Minnesota officials and community leaders have repeatedly expressed concern that these federal operations are escalating violence and eroding trust between law enforcement and residents. The Minneapolis mayor and Minnesota governor have both criticized the federal presence, calling it chaotic, unsafe, and harmful to community relations. Public reaction and protests. These shootings have sparked significant protests not only in Minneapolis but across multiple U.S. cities, including New York, Los Angeles, Boston, and San Francisco. Demonstrators are demanding accountability, calling for ICE to be abolished or removed from local enforcement, and expressing deep frustration with how federal immigration enforcement is being conducted. Political and legal fallout. The incidents have reopened debates about Federal Immigration Enforcement Authority and oversight, use of force policies by ICE and other federal agencies, access to investigations and evidence for state officials, public safety and civil rights protections. Polls show that a majority of Americans view at least some of these uses of force as unjustified, though opinions differ across political lines.